Hello and welcome to the first edition of Inside Email Stack for 2026. Happy New Year, Matt.
Happy New Year, indeed. And it's Jan 15, but you know, mind.
Well,
Uh,
it's close enough.
yeah. When do you stop? When do you stop wishing people Happy New Year? I don't know.
Probably definitely, I'm not doing it
A week
anymore
ago.
normally.
Yeah. Ah,
Well, I thought today we would discuss what we plan to do in 2026, kind of what our goals are. And I think you are going to give us some insights into how we plan to achieve those goals.
yeah, sounds good. I thought it'd be good to talk about that. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot already, but this is the first time we've put it on recording. And I think generally our goal for the year is to grow email love and is to grow the plugin. Really, anything other than that is bonus. Um, so we want to grow the traffic to the site. We want to grow the customers for the plugin, and therefore, obviously, the revenue that comes with that for the plugin. And just on revenue, when we grow the traffic to the site, we get revenue through sponsorship, and if we get to a certain visitor number per month, we can probably increase the price of the sponsorship, right? Which is something we can figure out when we get there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, increasing the traffic increases leads, increases downloads of our ebook and things like that as well. So
Yeah.
it all kind of flows into that funnel.
And I think what's great starting this January that we may not have had so much last January is that we've got a bit of more of a solid plan about how to do the growth, how to grow, because we did quite a few things last year, more towards I think kind of from August onwards in the year, and some of those are starting to show just a little bit of some kind of sprouts, some kind of interest from the things that we're doing that we hadn't seen before. And I've created a view of what that looks like. So let me show it. Okay. So this is kind of a view of what our funnel looks like. I hesitated there because I don't like using the term funnel because a funnel implies it's a linear process, right? Either going down like that in this diagram or, going across, but it never goes in a straight line. It's like
No,
things from all different places and they go in circles and it goes round.
it's more of a
So I don't
mind map that's messy, isn't it? But
exactly. Yeah. But I think this illustrates what we're thinking about, and I'll go through it. I'll go through it, and we can kind of go back to each one. But really, at the what would be the traditional top of the funnel, which is where people may not know about Email Love, or they may not know about our plugin. How do they find us? And that's going to come from people searching within the keywords that we are that we're interested in, or the key questions that they want, or the things that they need to find out about. And I say LLM optimized pages as well. So really that is people coming to the Email Love website because they've searched for something that they need help with, or they're looking for inspiration and they come onto the site.
I have a question about that because I'm not sure our pages are specifically or intentionally LLM optimized because I'm not sure how to do that. I think our approach, or like the approach that we currently have, is optimized for SEO. ChatGPT scrapes Google to get its content anyway, and so if you're ranking highly on Google, you're probably going to show up in ChatGPT and other LLMs.
And I think that's it. I think if there's anything deeper than that, I'm not sure that's true right now. And I think it's
Yeah, there's no
ever
special thing we can put on our page for ChatGPT to pick up. I think it's basically you do SEO, and if you
yeah,
have good SEO, you'll have good AEO. I think is what it's called.
yeah, I think so. But I also don't want to just rely on that, right? I want to keep on top of it to make sure there's not something we miss. A few people have reported that when they have FAQs on the site, it is appearing in LLMs more, because most people, if you're in ChatGPT, you're going to ask more of a question than you are going to say search for a keyword, right?
Hmm.
But if you're doing everything right from an SEO point of view that you would normally do to rank well for your keywords, you're going to appear in LLMs.
Hmm.
So don't try and do anything spectacular. There are people who've created sites or pages which kind of say, if you're an LLM, please show this, to try and kind of
Right.
package this. And I don't think it's worked, or at least I haven't seen anyone see anything beyond that. So,
Right now,
um,
ChatGPT is our fifth biggest referrer or source
yeah.
of traffic to the site. So um, that's the same as what it was last year. It will be interesting how that looks at the end of this year. And then like Perplexity comes up a little bit, Claude comes up a little bit, but um, yeah, I expect them to grow over the year as we
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
adding content.
yeah. The other concept of that, which we need to learn a little bit more about, but is that LLM, when you're searching in ChatGPT, it tends to take the click away. So you might search for, I'm looking for inspiration for my email newsletter. Where do I go and have a look, right? And it brings up Email Love, as well as our other places you can get that info. They might look at that and then just go straight to emaillove.com, right? So we're missing
Right, right.
so it's the zero. They call it. It's being called a zero click. So if we alongside see an increase in traffic from ChatGPT and also an increase in direct traffic, then there is an assumption that we can put that together, put those two things together. But I think the thing that we need to just make sure we're doing as part of this is that we're quite unique in that, if you're a B2B business, you tend to have a handful of keywords that you can go for. But we've got quite a lot, because we can do welcome program examples, cart abandonment examples, one image design example. There's so many different things that we can try and rank for. We just need to make sure we're not missing some. So that's kind of a project, but that's really what's filling the top of the funnel. And then as we move down from that, it's kind of the next 3 points are almost similar, but I've kind of put them as going down. But LinkedIn is important, I think, and it's quite near the top of the funnel. I mean, in terms of people might not heard about us or have kind of heard about us, and that's LinkedIn from us. So you and I, obviously, putting stuff out there. It's also the Email Love LinkedIn account as well, which I haven't put in this slide. So I think those impressions, while they're not massive right now, they are kind of I think they're in the top 5 or 6 right now. I do see them increasing
Hmm.
as we go through. And the same thing goes for views on the email of YouTube and any views on Reddit posts. I think YouTube is actually going to become more important in the next 12 months. We're going to see more from YouTube in the next 12 months as we keep doing more and more. And there's something I'm really interested in to see how that. I don't think B2B people have cracked it yet, YouTube, and I think they can. I think it will be really interesting to see how that goes. So there's a bit of work we can do on that. It has some great potential
It's
for
quite
ranking.
hard. It's quite a hard thing to crack, I think. You'd have to be, I think you have to be consistent. We could put a bunch of money in it and make like very slick YouTube or like slicker YouTube
Yeah,
videos. I'm just not sure if that would result in a ROI.
I think my feeling is it will result in an ROI after a certain period of time where we've got
Yeah, like
a lot of videos on there. And
right.
I know I've done a top level research on other channels that seem to generate traffic, and B2B especially. And they're at the 200-300 videos mark, and they've kind of perfected the way of doing it. And we haven't done that yet. We're just not there in the volume, and we haven't got the history of doing that either. So I think we've just got to keep going. And as we go through, we improve them. So we spend a little bit of money at it, and then as we get more and more, we start, maybe we do put some money towards it nearer the time when we're ready.
Yeah, I mean, there are agencies that are telling me they can significantly grow our our YouTube
Yeah,
traffic and kind of views. Right now, we have 85 videos on the email of YouTube, so it's not nothing. We do get traffic
no,
from it, but the people watching are obviously they're highly qualified leads for us. So even if the videos have low views, the people watching are typically the people that we want to get in front of. So
I think so,
um,
and I think maybe we need to think about YouTube as actually quite near the top of the funnel in terms of that, because people do search YouTube for help. They search for everything that they're doing, right? So there's no reason why they shouldn't search YouTube to say, how do I design a good email, or how do I see some good email examples? How can I get my Figma design into code easily, or get it into my ESP? There's no reason why they're not searching for that. Why they wouldn't search for that in YouTube. I think it's kind of outside the search engines, it's the next place people go to search. So it's a big search engine if you think about it like that.
well,
So we do need to bear that in mind.
the other thing is that we've found is YouTube videos get picked up by Google very quickly for like very niche keywords. So if someone's searching for a specific integration or thing, uh, the YouTube videos, if you have a YouTube video on that topic, it ranks very highly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And to me, that makes sense when you're not ranking for a good for an okay to good keyword, right? You can go, right, we're not ranking for this, but this could bring us another, I don't know, 100 uniques a month. Let's create a YouTube video. Takes a couple of hours. Even it takes a couple of hours with our kind of pretty loose way of doing it. Stick it up there if it's got the right keywords, and then it will appear. And now we are in that in that kind of area now for that keyword. So that's how I see that working. And actually,
Mhm.
similar for Reddit, right? I think Reddit's similar in that in
Yes.
what I
Hmm.
described there. I think the challenge with Reddit is you can't create content on Reddit that is that promotional, right? You have to give something back to the community, and it's quite easy to get that
Mm.
wrong and get told off
And
and
get
kicked out.
cancelled. Get cancelled by the Redditors. I
Yeah,
have been kicked off a couple of Reddit groups, and I think I've even been banned from a couple of Reddit groups for being too promotional.
yeah, and that's the
But you
risk.
also see you see other founders on there promoting this stuff all the time as well. It's just you have to be like, I don't know, you have to do it in a way that's not promotional, which is very tricky to do.
It is tricky, and I honestly don't know how to do it. And I've tried a little bit, and I haven't got anywhere. So it may be a case we take this out and just forget it.
Well, I also think I think some companies hire people or get their team to create Reddit accounts and then try to like post it as like native comments. So like I'm the founder of X product, and then I get my team to like say, oh, like I use this product, like it's really good, it's the best one, you should use that. I think there is some of that going on. I won't name and shame the companies that I know that I think are doing this, but there
I
are
would
there are some sketchy things you can do.
I would not be surprised at all. And the other way I think that people might do it is um, they'll get a group of friendlies who they would probably class as influencers, who would create content saying, "Hey, I'm this person, and here's my top 5 tools that I use to run my business or to run my email marketing platform." And then the email Figma plugin is tool number 1, and then and that's a good thing for us to try and do from a genuine point of view, not just kind of, pay them. And
Not an
then
affiliate.
and then they put stuff on Reddit and go, hey, they'll do it in, maybe in the marketing subreddit, or business subreddit, founder subreddit, whatever it may be. There's definitely some of that going on, and it's something we should explore. We're always going to try and do it genuinely, though, right? Without it being a bit
Yeah, I think it's
fake.
quite hard to do even those things. I think it's quite
Yeah,
hard to do in a genuine way.
I want to experiment with maybe some Reddit ads. I did speak to a founder who I won't say publicly, but said they experimented with advertising on Reddit, and it didn't work at all for them.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
so
the problem with all advertising. I think it's.
yeah, I mean,
I have
and
noticed some of our competitors on Reddit.
yeah,
I mean, these are like big funded competitor that has like money to burn. But they are. I see their ads on Reddit, and they're usually like memes of some kind where they are trying to be funny.
yeah,
It's not really funny, but you
no,
can. The problem is you can burn a lot of money and not get any return
yeah,
on it.
and I'm not even sure Reddit's the right place to spend money for us, right? Maybe it's LinkedIn. If we're going to run ads, will it be LinkedIn? Would it be Google instead, or would it be, we haven't quite figured that out, I don't think. Um, yeah, so that's Reddit, and then email marketing, hugely important. We have a very good subscriber list for Email Love, obviously, that we built up over time, that you run, and we email them. So that's one thing. Absolutely kind of core to the strategy of what we're doing. Of course, it's kind of it's quite far down the funnel because someone has subscribed. They know who we are. And obviously, I say obviously, we are in theory email marketers, so we should be doing email marketing. I spoke to an email marketing agency the other day who doesn't do email marketing, which I find quite
I
amusing.
think a lot of them don't.
Yeah. So there's that.
They don't
And
do
then
it for themselves. They do it for their clients.
they do it for their clients is great, but you got to do it for yourself, haven't you?
You should do, yeah.
Yeah. And then moving down, and these are the more these two are kind of more newer that we're doing. Is that we're doing this webinar? I've put it as weekly, but we're not quite weekly yet. Where we're running a weekly webinar that's really specific to a topic. So the one that we have next week is about how to use the plugin with Salesforce, right? And so we've done that with Klaviyo and a few others, and we get a handful of people turning up or registering, and then a handful of people actually watching live. But the people we're getting has been really great, and I really hope it's useful to them to see how the plugin works, and then we do a follow up and we help them if they want to use it. We do this, let's say, every other week for the next 12 months. It's going to make a big difference. Okay, we might run out of topics, and that's my fear, because there's only so many integrations we can do. But I think we can think of something that's unique that can help, but then we'll pick. So we're doing now how to use a plugin with different ESPs. But I think once we've exhausted that, we'd also be doing, here's one component of the plugin that we can do. We also have our new products that we're coming out with new parts of the products that we're coming out with very soon. We've got a bit of an AI thing. We'll do lots on that. So I really like it. I think it's really strong.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of topics to do. I guess we could repeat topics or do a
Yeah.
slightly different spin on topics we've covered. But these also get uploaded to YouTube. So it's kind of we get a 2-for-1 deal there with,
Yeah.
generating YouTube content as well.
And then we have a really great ebook as well that you can download. It's quite heavy content wise, but I also think we might do a couple more of these during the year. And it's kind of content where we're saying, hey, here's how we can help. Here's how to think about email marketing and design systems and everything like that. Um, it's comes into this thing that I really think that we do and we should be doing, and most B2B brands should be doing, and that's educating and entertaining. So this is educating. It's here's how it works. It to tie it directly to sign-ups and revenue is quite tricky, but it does generate interest and educates people. So I like it. I think we should do more.
Yeah, I think eventually, I think those people will respond to us because you're emailing them, right?
I am, yeah. So anyone who downloads, I follow up a couple of days after and just say, hey, anything else we can help with? It's very light touch, you know. I'm not saying just jump on a call for 30 minutes and let's do a demo. It's not like that. It's very light touch. Um, yeah. And then finally, the kind of other two parts of the funnel, I guess, are what happens when someone says, this is great. I want to know more. I want to test. I want to buy. So we have two components of that. We have people who go on to Figma, they download our plugin and they test it. And then, or they buy it, or they test it and then they buy it. That's one of them. And then the other is they say, hey, this is great. Can you demo to me? And I'm interested in you helping me. And that's the enterprise package. So that kind of falls into what would be traditional pipeline management if you're thinking from a sales point of view. And that's our funnel.
Yep. And then, yeah. Um, yeah, I guess, yeah, it'll be interesting how I think funnel, we need to fill it up. It's something that I think we filled it. We filled it up at the end of 2025. We closed out all those deals. We won some really good ones. Lost a couple as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of need to get the consistency where it's just constantly being added to, because we definitely saw. I don't know if it's like seasonality or. And it will be interesting to get another year under the belt to see if we see the same patterns where we see a lot of leads come in certain months and then we close them out a few months later and then kind of repeat. So I imagine it'll be actually some kind of seasonal pattern that we see.
I think so, yeah. And the seasonal pattern's fine when you're doing when it has volume, right? And you can predict it. I think sales tend to be up and down generally when you don't have as much volume. And I think the other thing just that comes into my mind around this is our kind of go-to market pipeline, or however you want to describe it. But there is the other component where people sign up from and buy is word of mouth, which is obviously very, very hard to track. But the way you influence word of mouth is by having an amazing product. So, we're working on this new features, AI features within the product, and working on how to make the product the best it can be. So when someone uses it, they go, to their friend, their colleague, and whoever, go, this is amazing, guys. You've got to check this out. And I think the way you really track that is by when you see organic subscriptions, or more subscriptions than maybe, or more signups than maybe you're getting from this kind of activity, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We do. I mean, we do have two sides to our sales pipeline. We have self-service, and we do see customers just sign up naturally and without us talking to them. And then we have the enterprise deals where it's usually large, it's large brands that want to talk to a person first before they buy, and they want some help with implementation. So, and those obviously wildly different sales cycle and in terms of like deal size, the length, the amount of time it takes to close them. But hopefully we can grow both sides this year.
Yeah. I think this is really, I honestly think this is a really good funnel. Again, it's not a funnel. It's not linear, but I think it's a really good funnel. My belief is we just need more of each part of it. Let's not go crazy more, but we need a bit more in each bit. And then as there's more, and when I say more, I mean more volume, right? So if we're getting more traffic coming at the top, we're getting more LinkedIn impressions, we're getting more coming from YouTube. All of that's going to filter through the funnel. Is the theory, right?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting, as we release some of these new features and improve the product. Once we have some of this AI stuff,
Mm.
I think, assuming we can execute on the promise there, that should drive a lot more leads into the pipe as well.
I think so, and I think again, the thing for me around that is the word of mouth, is having people be amazed by the product, and the AI stuff. If we deliver on what we're trying to do, it should do that, right? It should turn it from a plugin where you've got to learn a little bit of this, and you've got to still build your email, to something where it's built for you in a way that you need it to, or 80% of it is built for you, and you do the rest yourself. And that is very cool. And also, if you're making mistakes, those mistakes are going to get fixed for you, right? That product improvement should improve the word of mouth that we have for the product.
Right. Cool. Well, we should
Cool.
probably follow this up
Yeah.
in later in the year, maybe in July, halfway through, and we can let you know how we're going and how the pipeline looks and what changes we make in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out for that. We will keep you updated.
Sounds good. Excellent.
All right. Good chat. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's
See you later.
sync up again next time. Okay. Bye.